With D1 Baseball here with Texas Tech head baseball coach Tim Tadlock. His team taking part in the Shriners Children's College Showdown at Globe Life Field opening weekend of the season. They will take on Tennessee, Nebraska, and Oregon. Should be one heck of a tournament. Those are going to be three fantastic games there. Coach, I appreciate you joining us this morning.
You bet. Good morning. Appreciate all you guys do for us.
First things first with your team, has there been any sort of focus or a point of emphasis that you and your staff have had as your team now is, just a little bit away from opening day here?
It's business as usual, really just trying to get guys reps and trying to work up to being in game shape and, just trying to do what everybody else in the country is trying to do, be as fundamentally sound as you can be.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, I think there's a lot of interest in Gavin Cash as a player, given the season he had last year. Tell me a little bit about what makes him such a special hitter, and to what extent did you expect him to kind of have the season he had last year?
Yeah. Tell you, Gavin had an at-bat against us his freshman year against Brandon Birdsell, and you could kind of see what was there. He had about a 12, 14 pitch at-bat against a guy throwing 100 miles an hour. Kind of see there was definitely some relentlessness about him and some determination, and he shows that day in, day out. He's a guy that works as hard as anybody we have, and I would say he's worked as hard as anybody we've had in our 11 years here. He's in the cage quite a bit, prepares the right way, and so when guys do that, game tends to reward you.
On the mound, you got a guy in Kyle Robinson who pitched for Team USA over the summer, had some good moments for you last year. Maybe this is an opportunity for him going into this season to take on a little bit of a bigger role. What have you seen from his development, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, Kyle's been really fun to watch. His freshman year, he had a little bit of a setback early on, right when he got here, talk about in the fall. Had a knee scoped and probably it probably set him back a little bit as a freshman. Probably didn't get quite as many innings, but he's a guy that just keeps working, keeps preparing. He's a guy that shows up each day, really goes about his business the right way, good, bad, and different, no matter what the results are. Seems like a guy that, always prepares the right way. He's a great teammate. The Team USA stuff, really cool. Really cool to see him throwing the ball good at the end of the year last year and going out and helping that team and doing that. Kind of like Jack Washburn did, honestly, after his freshman year up at Oregon State. Both those guys pitched out of the bullpen, a good part of the year, and we're in a really good spot at the end of the spring to go help the USA team.
You've got a freshman in TJ Pompey who's a pretty exciting player. Big things maybe ahead for him. What have you seen from him so far that gives you confidence that, hey, he might be a guy who's ready to take on a big role for us as a first-year player in the Big 12?
Yeah, TJ's really athletic, really skilled baseball player, really has some tools, can really defend. He's a guy that's going to put together competitive at-bats. Obviously, he's a freshman. He's going to go through some things, just like all baseball players do. But again, he's a guy that really likes to play, shows up, prepares the right way. Again, I can't imagine having a more gifted guy standing out there at short. He's got all the tools you're looking for. And again, when you start talking about lateral range and arm strength and all those things, he's got all those.
Whether in the lineup or on the mound, are there any guys who are back from last season that maybe are going to be taking on more, or maybe some new faces that you and your staff looked at in the fall and kind of thought, okay, this is different than what we saw before. Maybe this is a guy who's a little further along than we expected, or maybe somebody that stood out to you that way?
Yeah, there's always 8 or 10 freshmen you can look at and go, hey, what are these guys going to become as the year goes? And I think there's quite a bit of guys there, that quite a few guys there that could really step in and help us. Probably the guy that jumps off the page would be Mac Ewer out of Georgia. Mac threw the ball really good. Mac's a guy that's He's definitely experienced when it comes to pitching in big games, and moments don't seem too big for him. So far as that goes, and also a guy that the stuff's good enough, he can probably get away with some misses. As far as other guys, just looking at it, Travis Sanders, talking about the shortstop position, Travis is a guy that could play all three spots in the infield. He's a guy that, was highly sought after, out of high school, and really sat out last year and took the time last summer to go out and play every day. And that's showing up a little bit right now. He's played really well in the fall. Other than that, again, our rosters always has guys that, you start naming names, you're going to leave some guys out. Start naming pitchers' names, there's going to be somebody you leave out that evolves and emerges as the season goes, and that's what you hope happens. And and so really like to just kind of leave that at that.
Yeah, fair enough. Finally, you're no stranger to having your team play in tournaments like this. You've played in Arlington before. You've played in the deal in Houston in the past. Why is it important for you, do you feel like, to give your players this opportunity against good competition in a big league ballpark and everything that comes with that?
Yeah. First of all, everything we can do for the Shriners Children's Hospital and that foundation and that organization, anything that comes about from the tournament that goes towards them, we want to recognize that and try to help, as much as we can and use our platform to help those, that organization. As far as the games go, we've always aspired to get on the bus and go play every day for about 2 or 3 weeks and just line up games for about 20 days and see what you have after that. We're coming about as close as we can come to that with our first week. We're going down there on a Thursday and going to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, take Monday off as far as from playing a game. We'll practice and then we're going to play on Tuesday and Wednesday there. And so we've had really good weather out here in Lubbock for the last couple weeks, and it looks like we're going to have good weather up till the tournament. And so maybe we'll hit it where that's the week it's going to be cold in Lubbock and we're getting to play baseball. And baseball's it's a challenging game. And, to me, the more you play it, the better chance you have of having success.
Yeah, no doubt. And certainly a big test that opening weekend. Again, Tim Tadlock, Texas Tech head coach, his team taking part in the Shriners Children's College Showdown at Globe Life Field against Tennessee, Nebraska, and Oregon opening weekend. Coach, we appreciate your time this morning.
Okay, you bet. Appreciate it, Joe.